Am I being detained?
We just wanted to have a conversation with you.
Okay, I just wanted to be known that this is a public street.
No, sir.
And there's what law says I can't come through there?
A man walking down a public street was stopped by a sheriff's deputy to school administrator, who demanded his identity and told him the road was off limits. Neither of them ever cited a law that made either of those things true. Under the Fourth Amendment, a demand for identification and a restriction on movement only become lawful when an officer has reasonable articulable suspicion that a specific crime has been or is being committed, a threshold that requires far more than proximity to a school building. What the deputy and administrator say next exposes precisely where that legal standard collapses.
Okay, so this video is missing about 60 seconds of the interaction because I didn't expect anyone to bother me again, so I wasn't recording or thinking about it or anything like that. So I'm walking down the street and I'm on the left side of the street walking down the sidewalk, and there's this school zone, and they have buildings on the left side of the street, they have buildings on the right side of the street. They also have sidewalks, and they have a gate that cuts off street traffic, or should I say vehicle traffic. So I'm walking down the street, I walk past the gate, and I'm walking, I get about 80% away through the school area, and a guy comes over and he says, "Hey, you can't walk through here." And I said, "There's a law that says I can't walk down the street. It's a public street." And he says, "Man, I'm just telling you, you can't walk down this street." And I said, "Well, there's nothing that says I can't walk down this street." And he says, "Well, I'll get law enforcement." And I tell him, "Well, you can get law enforcement. I'll tell him the same thing." So he leaves off. He gets on his radio. And I tell him, "Be blessed, have a good day." So after I leave talking to that guy, I'm past the school area at this point, about to turn onto a different street, and a golf court rolls up on me. And it's a lady and a deputy. Now, the deputy and the lady, they asked me, "Do I live around here?" And I just pointed, and I said that way. I pointed in the direction that the school was, and I said that way. And they start asking me stuff about who I am and things like that, and telling me that I can't be down this road. And then I said, "Is there a law that says that I can't come down this road?" And the deputy mentioned a general statute that was on the sign that was on the fence. Now, I looked this general statute up months ago because I walk down this street. And there's sometimes at night they still have that gate closed. And I wanted to know what that general statute said. I looked it up, and that general statute says that you can't tamper, damage, or remove the sign or the fence. So they have that general statute on both fences, which is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. I don't want to touch their stuff or anything like that. But there's nothing about that you can't walk down that street at any point in time. So I told that sheriff that, or that deputy that, excuse me. And after that, I told him that he basically wasn't really trying to say too much. And that's when I started recording.
I'm just asking, do you have children on?
And you're a school official?
I'm an assistant principal, but
okay. So the assistant principal and the sheriff are telling me, you said...
I'm not the sheriff, I'm a deputy.
You're a deputy sheriff, and you said if I walk down this public street...
Yes, sir. You can't come cut through campus while school is in session.
And there's no law that says that I can't walk on this public street during school hours, correct?
It's blocked off, sir, because we have students that cross that road during the day.
And is there a law that says that you're allowed to block it off?
I'm sorry?
Is there a law that says that you're allowed to block it off?
Traffic cuts through there while we have students crossing to get to their classes.
I understand that, but how is me walking putting them in danger?
In contact. We don't know anybody's information. We don't even know your name.
You don't need to know my name. I've never seen you either, sir.
We've done
I'm out here every day, that's what I'm saying. I've never seen you.
And I walk down here every day.
That's right.
But it's a safety thing for my baby. We need to know who's on off the campus. I get that.
And for my privacy, I'm not telling you who I am.
Oh,
I've done nothing illegal.
I'm not asking you who you are.
But you did bring up that you brought up that you didn't know my name.
That's the point I'm proving. We don't know who you are and coming around the students. It's a safety.
You don't know who is anyone walking around the students.
That's why we have safety coming around. That's why we went to talk to you. We're not coming at you rudely.
Anytime you tell me I can't walk down a public street and there's no law, you have a law enforcement officer here who can't cite a law that I have broken.
I'm letting you know this is trespassing.
How is it trespassing when it's a public street?
That's fine. So let me make contact for somebody.
You can make contact with whoever you please. Am I being detained?
We just wanted to have a
free to go.
conversation with you.
Okay, I just wanted to be known that
You free to go.
this is a public street.
No, sir. You
And
can
there's
come through here, but you
what law says I can't come through there?
you want to go?
What law says I can't come through there, officer? Oh, excuse me, deputy. I get your name, deputy, if you don't mind.
Deputy Livingston.
Deputy Livingston.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
But I'm telling you straight up.
I have a gentleman.
You have no legal reason to say that.
What you mean I have no? It's a school.
But there's no law that says I can't walk down that street.
All this is considered state property.
What law is that?
Can't come through the school.
What law is that? State property is public property.
Carolina, bro. Send it right.
Anywhere, please pull it up. You have the phone right there.
The school and cut through campus.
Pull it up. I didn't cut through the campus. I walked down the public street. And that fence has nothing to do with me.
I got you, bro. You're not saying you're free to go.
I feel like standing here while y'all here. That's cool.
You ready? I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm on the phone with our director of the board, and he stated that it is.
Unless your director has a law backing what he's saying, I'm really not concerned with it. Respectfully.
He won't even let me get a chance to get the policy out.
See, you're saying policy.
He's here with me.
I'm only concerned with law at this moment.
He's refused to give his name. I'm just making sure I'm in my roles as an administrator, that I am citing school and board policy that visitors on campus have to check in up front, and we have the right to state that you cannot walk through your special education. And the school resource office can remove him from the campus. And that's all we need to do.
You might want to call your supervisor, deputy.
Okay, thank you.
You sure about that? Because if anyone not law enforcement puts their hands on me, I will defend myself.
That's what he said. The school resource officer has grounds to do. That's
Is he a law enforcement officer?
he doesn't work for the school system. He works for the sheriff.
So maybe he should call his supervisor before he gets himself in trouble.
No, he's following my protocols, which my
No. Protocol does not trump law.
policy and board for school system.
It does not trump law.
The Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution prohibits any seizure of a person, including a demand for identification, without reasonable articulable suspicion that is specific. Identifiable crime has been or is being committed. Deputy Livingston never articulated one. The statute cited on the school fence addressed tampering with school property, not pedestrian access, meaning no legal basis for restricting movement or compelling identification from this individual was ever established. Any driver or pedestrian who encounters a similar situation should understand that school board policy, administrative protocol, and a general concern for safety are not substitutes for a specific articulable law, and that absent lawful detention, the right to withhold your name and continue on your way is constitutionally protected.